What if the Vikings never left America? 500 years before Christopher Columbus was born, a Viking named Leif Erikson stood on the shores of North America. He called it Vinland, a land of endless forests and fertile soil. For a moment, the Norse almost claimed a continent. But then, they vanished. The settlements were abandoned, and the great Norse Empire of the West became a ghost story. But what if they never left? What if the Vikings hadn't sailed back, but had pushed deeper into the heart of America? Today we explore the timeline that almost was, the Viking Empire of the West. In our timeline, conflict with the local tribes forced the Vikings to retreat. But in this reality, they choose diplomacy. Imagine the Vikings sharing the secret of ironworking in exchange for local agricultural knowledge. By the year 1100, a network of Norse American trading hubs begins to grow along the Atlantic coast. At the mouth of the Hudson River, the first great stone city of the West is born, New Uppsala. As the centuries turn, the Norse don't just conquer, they assimilate. We see a beautiful fusion of two worlds. Longships made of massive American timber begin to sail down the Mississippi River, exploring the deep interior. By 1200 AD, Norse steel finds its way into the hands of the Great Plains tribes, changing warfare forever. But the biggest change? The great exchange of animals. Horses, cattle, and sheep are introduced to the Americas 400 years early. These animals revolutionize travel, agriculture, and the very concept of wealth across the continent. By the time the Black Death ravages Europe in 1347, the Vinlanders are prepared. Thanks to centuries of contact with Norse traders, they've developed immunity to Eurasian diseases. While Europe burns, the Norse American population thrives, becoming a new global powerhouse. This empire isn't just about expansion. It's about a unique blend of technologies and philosophies. Iron tools, advanced sailing techniques, and a pragmatic worldview fuse with deep respect for nature and communal living. Their cities become marvels of interwoven design, reflecting both the longhouse and the earth-mound traditions. Fast forward to October 1492. Christopher Columbus arrives in the Bahamas, expecting to find a route to Asia. Instead, he finds a heavily fortified coastline defended by formidable warriors in chainmail. These warriors carry steel axes and sail ships that rival Columbus's own. This isn't an empty land. The New World isn't a land to be conquered. It's a global superpower, forged in fire and ice. The Spanish colonization of America never happens. Instead, a massive war for the Atlantic begins. While Europe struggles with internal religious wars, the Vinland Empire looks inward, expanding across the Great Plains. The Norse bring the concept of a thing, an early form of parliament, which merges with the tribal councils of the West. This creates a level of political stability that the old world of kings and emperors can only dream of. By the 1700s, while the Industrial Revolution begins in Britain, Vinland is already building its first steam-powered ships. Iron and timber from the Great Lakes fuel a technological boom that makes Vinland the world's leading exporter of tools. When the 19th century arrives, the map of the world looks completely different. There is no United States, only the Norse Confederation. Old Norse becomes the language of science, trade, and diplomacy across the entire Western Hemisphere. Even the old world of Europe is forced to adapt, as the Norse American Navy becomes the undisputed master of the Atlantic. Imagine a 2026 where the skyline of New York, or New Uppsala, is filled with skyscrapers inspired by the shapes of longhouses. A world where high-speed trains are named after Valkyries, and the internet is built on a network called Yggdrasil. The religious landscape of the planet is transformed. Odin and Thor are not forgotten myths, but living faiths. History is often viewed as a straight line, but it is actually a web of choices. One different choice in 1000 AD could have moved the center of global power from London and Paris to the forests of North America. The world we know today is just one version of the story. The Vikings left us a mystery, but they almost gave us a future. What do you think? Would a Viking America have been a better world or a more violent one? Let us know in the comments. If you want to see more what-if history, check out our previous video on the Ice Age. This is Dreams of Eras. See you in the next era.